All right, welcome back to the channel. So, if any of y'all seen my last video, so y'all know I've been on a hunt on the whole women, men relationship situation, right? So I made sure that the video that I made, I stated clearly in that video that this channel isn't attacking women. This channel isn't attacking men. This channel isn't attacking, black people. This channel is enforcing accountability and just being completely honest. So as you can see by the title, I got a juicy one in today. So, today, ladies, I'm on y'all side. You know what I mean? Today, I'm on y'all side. So, man, I've been looking at stuff, right? So currently, I'm involved in a situation with a female, right? And the biggest thing that I never really paid attention to in relationships was the whole submissive thing. You know what I mean? Like, I never really knew exactly what the hell that meant to a certain degree, and I never really kind of analyzed it up until now. So we gonna go with the thing is, I look at the modern day man. You know what I mean? I can't really look back at men from the 60s to 70s, the 80s, and the 90s, because I wasn't, for some of it, most of it I wasn't born, and for the other bit of it I was a kid at the time, so I couldn't really articulate what I was seeing, because at that time your brain isn't fully developed. But as I get older now, I'm 27, by the way. So as I get older, I look at the state of the world and I just observe, right? I do a lot of watching. I observe people. I'm very observant, and I like to just kind of watch people and see how things, are, and kind of look at who people are, you know what I mean? And I always tell people, listen to a person and watch a person, because a person is dying to show you who they are, and they're dying to tell you who they are. So I always pay attention to those two things right there. So we're gonna get into the modern day man. So at my job, man, I look and I see pitiful excuses for men every freaking day. And this gonna go to the newer generation, the younger generation, my generation, not the 40, 50-year-olds. I'm talking about the 20-year-olds, the 18, the 19s, the early 20s, mid 20s, potentially late 20s. Those are the people that I'm addressing in this video right here. So my thing is this, right? I look at the spectrum, right? And I always say, the thing about me, I don't ever want to be hypocritical in anything that I do or anything that I say, right? So I always say with the whole Boosie debate, prime example with Lil Boosie. I'm pretty sure all y'all know who Boosie is. Boosie Badass, right? So Boosie goes hard and on his stance with homosexuality. And he has the right to feel the way he feels, right? And I understand it. But my thing I always say with Boosie is that you can't really be contradictory and say, okay, I feel this way about homosexuality, and I feel this way, but I feel this way about gangsterism. And you're promoting gangsterism, and gangsterism kill way more than homosexuality is. Homosexuality does. You know what I mean? I'm not a homosexual. I don't necessarily agree with the lifestyle, but I'm not going to really bash or hate, or I'm not going to make a comment on that, but then I can't make a comment on this because, in my mind, it is I'm not going to say it's equal, but you can't be contradictory in what you speak, right? So I do that that's what I'm doing here with this channel. So I'm not going to get on here and go in and say, oh, well, women ain't shit, they all bitches and hoes. Now, we do have some that falls under that category, but then we also have a lot of them that fall under the category of women. So back to what I was saying about the motherfucking lazy ass men in this generation. Man, these guys nowadays are so freaking lazy. Like, it blows my mind. And I look and I see why you guys can't stay in relationships, or why y'all can't keep a woman, because y'all are, this generation of guys is feminine. They weak. They lazy. They sorry. They don't know how to do nothing. Half of them probably don't even know how to change a tire on their car. Probably don't even know how to fight. They probably don't need to know. They don't know how to do anything that would classify you as a man and that would make a woman want to be submissive to you. All they do is bet. Do you know how many, man, and it goes towards the older generation too. Now screw that. We're talking about men, period. But mainly modern day men. But I look at the older generation, right? My older generation. So you look at what you would consider an OG, somebody who's been around, who's been alive. You would look at those people and expect those people to give you game on a certain thing. So they'd be like, hey, man, check this out. Whoop-de whoop whoop, this with a relationship. Whoop-de whoop whoop, this with your financial aspect. Giving you some vital game, right? Not just telling you bull crap and filling your mind with the bullshit that they do. They're feeding to you, right? So I was looking at the situation like with my family, man. The older generation, they failed us so bad because they never gave us any blueprint. They never gave us any idea of what we were going to be dealing with whenever we hit the real world. You know what I mean? And it frustrates me because they were supposed to been they supposed to have that door open. You know what I mean? And tell you like, hey, come in. This is how you do that. And I'm not saying that it was going to make things smooth, but it would have made them a lot more easier to deal with because I already am familiar with the situation, opposed to me going into a situation that I have no clue with and I can't go to anybody and get advice on it. So it's almost like to the point to where I gotta kind of really learn on the job. I gotta fuck stuff up in order for me to really learn how to do something because I don't have that source. You see what I'm saying? But then I look at them. I used to think that they were like guys that had women doing everything for them was so cool. Like they come staying with the woman. The woman got her own apartment. The woman got to go pick this motherfucker up, bring him to their house. 9 times out of 10, she got to go buy him and her something to eat. Then when she take him to the house, all he do is give her maybe a good fuck. Now she got to drop him back off at the house and probably give him some more food. So it's a take relationship opposed to take, give. It's even. It's just all the way across the board, just a take relationship. And they do that up until the woman just gets sick and tired of it and say, you know what, this ain't worth it, and kick them out the goddamn house. Now they back to square one, but they're looking for the next person to leech off of. So it's like, how could a woman be submissive to a guy who doesn't have a job, who has really no man mindset, who don't have no, you know, you got guys that's out here, they don't got a place to stay, they ain't got the pot to piss in, but then they got all the new Jordans. They got all the new jewelry, all the new clothes. They got all these new things. That's what they're focused on more so than actually having an apartment, having a car, having something that's actually substantial once you're done. You know what I mean? That's going to get you your value over the years. Man, you can get a pair of shoes. Same thing with a car. You can wreck a car. I understand that too. But you can get a pair of shoes and wear them, 2-3 times. Now you ain't wearing them no more. Or they done got scuffed up or something. So now the value degrades on them, right? But what do you think is going to impress a woman, right? You and the guy y'all in competition, fighting for a girl. And you ain't got no car. You ain't got no apartment. You ain't got no job. All you got to show is some clean ass retro Jordans. That's it. Clean ass retro Jordans. That's all you got to show for what you got is clean ass retro Jordans. That's it. She can't do shit with Air Jordans. Y'all can't lay on them Jordans. Y'all can't eat out the Jordans. Y'all can't do none of that out the Jordans, right? So, but that's what they choose. That's what these people choose to, a lot of these guys choose to prioritize. Or you got a lot of them, all they want to do is keep chasing behind women their whole life. Opposed to, finding one woman that's beneficial for them, and that makes them a better person. Now, I'm not saying that you can't be promiscuous. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with being a single man and, and playing the field. You know what I mean? Only time it becomes a problem is when you go around lying and, and manipulating, and you breaking people, and you scarring people and making them broken for the next person to come along. Right? So that's what it comes down to. It's like, man, you want to know who my role model is right now? My role model is Brittany Renner. You know what I mean? Because Brittany Renner took what she got, which is her body, and capitalized off of it. So now she gets 6 figures a month for doing absolutely nothing. And you got a lot of guys that was in an uproar about that, right? But you don't see none of these guys in uproars whenever these men out here beating women. You don't ever see none of these people in uproars when these men out here raping women. You don't ever see any of these people in an uproar when these men are making these babies and leaving them. So how come y'all want to get mad when the shoe is on the other motherfucking foot? That's the name of the game. It's going to be that way. You can't have one without the other. So whenever the other side actually finally wins, why is that all of a sudden a problem? You see what I'm saying? Why is that all of a sudden a problem? My thing is this. You had guys making up any and every excuse for that dude. Oh, this, that, and the third. This was my take on this, right? I hope she take him for everything he's worth. I hope she take him for everything. I hope he ain't got a dime left after she get done with him. Because my thing is this, right? You knew fully what you was getting yourself involved in when you got involved with her. But you knew exactly what you was getting yourself involved in whenever you start having unprotected sex with her. Last time I checked, unprotected sex results in unwanted pregnancies, or wanted pregnancies, or sexual transmitted diseases. So how can you be comfortable with having unprotected sex, but then want to cry whenever it's time to suffer the consequences? You knew that shit before you went into it. You knew that. So why are we feeling sorry for you because you wasn't manipulated into a situation? That ain't nobody's fault but your own for you not analyzing the situation and kind of trying to get a feel for the person and see who she is. So guess what? Women, when y'all get a chance, I want y'all to break these motherfuckers. Like, I want y'all to break them. Like, I'm talking about, if you run across a weak man, break they motherfucking ass. I'm talking about break them. Break them. But take them for everything they got. I'm talking about have them living on Skid Row. Have them stand up under a bridge, up under a tent. They got cardboard that they got over their head to stop whenever, to keep them from getting wet when it's raining. Yeah, I want. That's what I want to see happen to a lot of these modern day men, because they ain't men no motherfucking way. You don't show no man no. You don't. A man, you show respect. A male, you don't show that motherfucker no respect. You don't show. From a man to a male, you can't respect him because y'all are not on the same level moral wise. You know what I mean? Y'all like me, like Nipsey Hussle, Nip. He was able to shape and kind of guide my mindset. And what I say by this, right? So I always say this: if it's a man and I can't respect you, I don't want to really talk to you. I don't want to be around you. Like, I really don't want no association with you. Real talk. That's just me. But here was the thing. And I could never find common ground onto, okay, how can I talk to this person and it, you know what I mean? And it be, especially if it has something to do with work or if it's beneficial and I got to deal with this person. So Nip was like, you got to look at it like this, right? You might not can deal with that person from a man to a man level because you don't view him as a man, but we all have one thing in common. And what's that? Humans. We're all humans. We might have individual races, black, white, Mexican, whatever, but at the end of the day, we're all under one thing, and that's a human, right? So from a human to a human, not a man to a man, from a human to a human, I can respect you in that sense, and that allows me to be comfortable with dealing with you to a certain degree. But it's like the men of these days, they're just weak. They're not strong physically. They're not strong mentally. They're not good leaders. They can't teach nothing. They can't do nothing, especially the ones in the black community, because they're too heavily influenced about what the rapper doing. They want to look like the rapper. They want to portray the image of the rapper, and not knowing that not every rapper in the game is rich. Not every rapper got the money that y'all think they got flashing in them goddamn videos. Let's understand that. But these are the people that they're emulating. These are the people that they want to be like. And those people right there, they don't need no admirers. They don't need no role. They don't need to be nobody's role model, because they're going to run them into the dirt. They're just like the uncles that didn't give you no game when you coming up, and you become an adult, and you look back at them and just be like, damn, bro, like y'all really are still stuck in 19-year-old mindsets, 20-year-old mindsets, 21-year-old mindsets. Like it's horrible, bro. And I understand now why women. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not gonna sit there and say that women do no wrong. Yeah, I mean, it's a mixture, man. Men and women. It takes two to tango, right? It takes two of us to consume a baby, so that's equal. That's equal responsibility, right? So it's the same thing with the bad side and the good side of relationships, man. It's both. Some women good, some women ain't. Some men good, some men ain't. It just comes with it just comes with the territory. But it's just like these men, they garbage, man. Like they really are. It's like you can't be submissive to something that, you know, to a spirit that's not dominant. You know what I mean? And it's like I say, it's just these newer men. Like, man, I see it every day. Men don't want to do physical work anymore. Men don't want to, you know, do manly things anymore, man. It's like they just weak. Hey, it's all across the board, man. They just weak. They weak as hell. Like, you know, you probably got men out here that's still asking a girl that they know, hey, can you get that girl my number? Or, hey, can you tell her I want to talk to you? Opposed to you just going up to her and speaking to her yourself. Like, you got a lot of guys, like I know grown men that still, they got their wives, you know, doing things for them, as far as like calling up there, trying to take vacation time. Like, you know what I mean? Like just doing stuff that the man is supposed to do. You see what I'm saying? Like it's not the same anymore, man. The value systems, everything is just so much more different, man. It's rare that I run across a man that I actually admire and I actually have a great level of respect for. It's just these men nowadays, man, they're lazy. They look for any reason to run away from work. They look for any reason to not be a good, I don't know, man. As you can see by the last video, that this is a whole separate clip. So like I said, I'm gonna keep this channel raw and uncut with you guys. You know, I was in the process of filming a video, but I kind of got to the point to where I was a little frustrated, as you probably could see in the video, to where I kind of had to end it beforehand, just because I was kind of so frustrated that I couldn't really put into words and voice my frustration. So therefore, that led to me ending the video. So this little clip is just letting you guys know that, like I said, man, I want to push the narrative that perfection is a myth. You know what I mean? So you don't have to come on. If you want to do a YouTube channel, if you want to start a YouTube channel, you ain't got to come on here and talk the most articulate. You ain't got to come on here and have the best verbiage, the best pronunciation. You ain't got to come on here and have the best edits, man. You know, just talk from your heart, speak from your heart. If it's whatever content you create, do it from your heart, man. And I think that's going to speak volumes, man. But I'll see y'all in the next video.